Hello, anybody who's out there. My name is Adam McDougall, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Flashbang Gaming Podcast. As I said, I am Adam McDougall, and today I am joined by my good friend Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Yo, how's it going?
It's going okay. How have you been lately?
It's not too bad, to be honest. I mean, you know, just thought.
It's exciting times because it's video game time. It's
yeah,
June.
it is. Yeah, it is a
June.
bit exciting. I must say so myself. You know,
It's E3 time.
I mean, it's not like you just come to me and just said, "Oh, yeah, do you want to do a podcast?" And I'll just say, "Yeah, whatever." It's not like that happened at all.
I've got so much free time. Stop bullying me on the internet, please.
Bullying you. I mean,
Anyway, as I said,
come on.
This is the first episode of something we like to call the Flashbang Gaming Podcast.
Which
We wanted to start this so we don't get bored, but we're actually going to try and have some fun with this over the next few weeks and see how it goes.
yeah, should be very, very interesting. Let's just, you know, get on with it.
So let's begin by let's tell the anyone who listens to this, which probably won't be many people right now.
Yeah, it'd be like zero views.
Let's...
Zero views. Cannot wait.
No. This is bullying. Stop.
Oh,
anyway,
fuck off.
as I said, my name's Adam McDougall. I am obviously into video games, as I wouldn't be talking to you right now if I wasn't into video games. My favorite video games consist of games like Dark Souls and those kinds of games, but I'm also super into things like platformers. I stopped playing sports simulation games because I'm not the tit, basically.
Okay, that's a great description, yeah.
This is a great description.
Mm-hmm.
The best fighting game franchise is Tekken, and I'd like people to appreciate Tekken more because Street Fighter's trash.
Okay.
You'll get to know that I have a very
my name is Joe. I'm a full-time gamer. Yeah, I just like playing video games.
Gamer.
Yeah.
Full-time gamer. What a virgin.
I like films. You know, I do a lot of editing. I'm actually directing the film as well. I won't say anything else after than that, but I've got 20 people working on it.
He's a virgin.
So are you, so shut up. You can't just come to me and just say, "Oh, you're a virgin." What a hypocrite. Says you.
But I didn't call myself a full-time gamer. I called myself very opinionated. And you'll learn how opinionated I am when we start talking about things like Destiny.
Mate, I've got some opinions as well. You just haven't listened to me.
Yeah, because you're too shy to share what your opinions are because you're scared of...
Well, maybe that's why I thought, oh yeah, let's do a podcast and then you can finally listen to it.
Oh man, this is a train wreck already. I'm having fun. This is already a train wreck.
Right.
We've got to talk for another 50 minutes.
50 minutes, actually. I'm looking at Audacity right now, and it's like, I think it's about 57. So you got that maths wrong.
Oh, yeah, because I'm dumb. That's why. Yeah. Anyway, should we talk about video games?
Yeah, let's talk about video games. E3 is around the corner next week. Very, very excited.
Press conferences start this Sunday as EA, for some reason, I don't know if this has happened the last few years, they've got a little early access day at E3 for something called EA Play.
Oh yeah. Well, you know EA, they're just like, oh yeah, we want to make our own thing. Like, I remember back in the day when they still used to release games on Steam. I know, unthinkable, isn't it? But that's what they used to do. I remember when they released Bad Company 2 on Steam for $29.99, and then they just thought, you know what, fuck it, let's just go and make a program called Origins and sell all our games there. And then they say, right, E3, let's get rid of that and let's make our own thing called EA Play.
Yeah,
that is EA.
It seems like a bit of a selfish thing to do, but well, it is EA. They're this type of company that would release a game with a £40 season pass for a game that has no DLC just because they need the money. Well, there's not enough quotation marks for the words "need money" when it comes to Electronic Arts, because EA loosely translates into "Hail Satan," but they don't want you to know that. Oh man.
Right. Yeah. So E3's around the corner. Should we have a look at what's coming out then? What's gonna be possibly shown at E3?
Well, what else are we here for? Shall we look at some rumoured games first?
You know what? Yeah, that's a pretty good idea actually.
Let's look at some rumoured games first.
First thing on the list, Knack 2. Knack 2 on the list. Who remembers Knack? Like that first game that got released at that press conference.
PS4 launch title Knack.
It's just that
No
game
one
that
remembers
just everyone
Knack.
just knew about it, but they're just like, I just can't care. They just don't
Dude,
care.
the only time I've come close to playing Knack is they released like this Candy Crush type thing with like companion app for Knack where you'd play like a Candy Crush type thing. I think that's what it was, and you'd unlock things to play within Knack, and then I never bought Knack because I don't know what to make of Knack. It's such an odd game. I don't even know like what type of game it is. All I've seen of it just looks like Banjo and Kazooie.
Well,
nuts
no,
and bolts.
actually, Edwards, I just
And that's
remember
awful.
you just come around my house once, like, yo, have you got Knack too? Because I got the iPhone app for it, or whatever.
Yes, because you would have Knack 2 in 2013, you dumbass.
No, you flipping idiot. When the first one came out.
Yeah, but you just said Knack 2. I need to put my phone on.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Knack. I shall rephrase that. Knack.
You better rephrase that.
Knack.
Don't speak the name of Knack in vain.
To be honest,
anyway,
you are the kind of person that will just say Knack 2 anyway.
To be honest, I'm the type of person who would unironically buy Knack because I'm retarded.
Okay, Knack 2. There's Borderlands 3 that may also get.
Borderlands 3. I don't know what to make of a Borderlands 3 because Borderlands 1 is one of my favourite first-person shooters of all time. I personally love Borderlands.
It's one of these things where there's games that don't really deserve a sequel, but then they just get a sequel anyway.
Well, no. Borderlands deserved the sequel. It just then got written by Anthony Birch.
Yeah.
And that was the problem. Because they turned Borderlands into a cool game with a cool concept of a story to Borderlands 2. How many memes can we fit into a sentence? Like, they turned Claptrap into a spouting meme machine. Like,
it's just
they
crazy.
ruined. And then Borderlands the pre-sequel came out, and I gave that a try. Because the only reason I got Borderlands for pre-sequel in the first place is because there was a glitch with Microsoft's online store which let me download it onto my old Xbox One for free before I got rid of it from a PS4. So
okay, that is a very interesting story.
Incriminating evidence against Microsoft. But yeah, I tried the pre-sequel. It plays just like Borderlands 1 and 2. It plays well. It's fun to play. But again, it's written by I think that one was also written by Anthony Birch.
Yeah.
But for the sake of professionalism, I'm not going to be doing live Googling for you. So
thanks for giving it away.
Borderlands 1 is the only good Borderlands game in my opinion. They all play well. They're not really they're not games that are just played with bugs. They're made with love.
I don't know. I mean, Borderlands 2 when it came out was, it was a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of really good like Borderlands 2 YouTubers out there that I really liked.
Yeah, but the good thing about Borderlands games is they don't come out broken. Like I'm gonna throw Bethesda under the bus here. They just leave the leave the games unfinished because they know modders are gonna finish the game for them.
Well, it's not just that. I just think the invention of the patch. Yes, I know.
Yeah, but it can make game companies really lazy. They'll just be like, we'll push this out unfinished. Like, let's take Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 for example. We're talking about broken games.
No. Don't get me started on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. No, please.
that game is an absolute train wreck.
Pro Skater 5.
Oh my god.
If anyone actually is watching this and you play the old Pro Skater games, leave a comment down below because, yeah, number 5, it was just a shit show, wasn't it?
Well, because it came out broken.
It wasn't really just that. It's just you just feel that there was just no passion put into games. Like when you play a game, sometimes there are really good games where you do feel that these developers really do put some passion into it. Like they actually put effort into it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Pro Skater 5 is just like, oh, we just released it because why not?
A good example of people putting love into games on that effect is something like SSX.
Oh yeah.
All of those games, even the reboot in 2012, the SSX thing that came out in 2012, even that was made pretty well. I mean, it was nowhere near as good as things like Tricky or SSX like 3 or SSX on 4. But it was still made well. You could tell that they put a lot of time and effort. And it's EA off with microtransactions, and it was still a game that was made well.
Yeah.
So that shows how much love there was for SSX before it sadly died.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, shall we move? Let's move on from Borderlands 3.
Yeah. Should we talk about some of the confirmed games that may get shown at E3 2013? I mean, there's Battle Slavs 2025, the Great Pizza Wars.
Battle Slavs! Rooster Teeth's game Battle Slavs. It's one of the best game titles I've ever heard.
Actually, I actually did a little research into this, and it only just got released this week. And if you actually read up about it, it's a fast-paced, multiplayer, competitive twin-stick shooter game. And it's got 20 unique weapons, 4 game modes, customizable battle settings and everything. But it's that classic old-school shooter, if you think about it.
You've really sold that game to me. Actually, I'm kind of interested in Battle Slavs.
It's
not gonna lie.
Actually, I don't know.
Kind of sold me on that.
I mean, if you are interested, I'll definitely do some research about it, because actually it has got me quite interested, and I'm very very actually interested to see what they're actually going to show at E3, because the game's just got released.
Well, it won't be at any press conferences because it's a Rooster Teeth game, and like obviously they're not a game developer. They've been making videos for years with like Achievement Hunter and stuff. But
although you can really tell the popularity of the game if it's only got 11 reviews.
Well, it's only come out this week, and it is a Rooster Teeth game, so it obviously will gain some traction eventually.
But
especially after people.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Because people are going to get their hands on it on the show floor this week at E3 anyway. So it's only time will tell. Like people could like play that thing and like they get their opinion from that. So that's how it's going to generate any popularity. Just
look at the reviews. I mean, it's mostly recommended, but again, it's just like they've only played like a few hours, so it's really hard to tell. I will need to see.
Is it on Steam?
Yeah, it's on. That's what I'm looking at. It's on Steam for $10.99.
I'll have to check that out after we. $10.99. That's a decent price, actually. Talking about decent prices, Sonic Mania.
Oh no, Sonic Mania.
Oh my god, it's gonna be my game of the year, dude. Sonic Mania is gonna be my game of the year, dude. It's a full game of a 2D Sonic platforming game, and they've only made it $14.99.
Yeah.
That oh my god, and you can tell from the trailers they're releasing for that game the amount of love that they're putting into it, because Sega have finally realised we can't make good Sonic games anymore, so they've decided to get people who may have been making ROM hacks for Sonic 3 and Knuckles for like 10 years to come and make Sonic Mania, and oh my god, if that isn't my game of the year, I'm going to cry. Because it looks so good.
Well, let's hope it all works out.
Sonic Mania is going to be my game of the year. If it's not, then shit. I don't know.
Okay, let's talk about games that may be getting shown for the Nintendo Switch, because obviously it hasn't had the best launch ever. Although
the Switch bombed at launch.
I think it's getting better. I mean,
yeah, well, it's obviously getting better.
I mean, they've got Splatoon 2. That's going to be showing at E3 for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, you want to talk about something Nintendo Switch? Let's talk about their new way of party chat. Oh my god, it's a shambles.
I was actually going to bring this up, but you was already one step ahead.
Dude, they've decided, right? They've decided. Let's put our party system on an app. Why? I don't understand that at all. Because they're putting their party system on an app on your like iPhone or your HTC phone or your Android or whatever you use, your bloody Nokia 66 brick thing, whatever. And you've got to plug an adapter into your phone, and then plug headphones into your phone. And you got to get an adapter, I think, to put in your phone or something like that. Then you've got to plug the microphone into the into the adapter that's in your headphone jack. And then, if you've got like an iPhone 7, which apparently all the rage is getting rid of the headphone jack, then you've got to plug in your Apple adapter, then your Nintendo adapter, then your headset, and you're gonna look like your phone's on life support.
Could you imagine, right? Just being like a little 13... No, not a little 13-year-old. I mean, like a little 11-year-old that's just got the Nintendo Switch and want to get a party or something. Get the...
Man, I feel bad for him.
Yeah. And, like, your mum's, like, walking in, seeing all that stuff.
Like, and you've got, like, your phone on bloody dial-up. I don't know why I said dial-up. That's not what I was intending to say at all. Fuck it, this is live.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Whatever.
But
well, not really, but it is.
We can edit it in post. Make me say something smart. Make me seem smart. Anyway, let's move on to...
we have Star Wars Battlefront 2. That is EA's, of course, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
You could say that.
Well, yeah.
I mean, technically speaking, it should be Star Wars Battlefront 4, but we'll roll with it. I mean...
Who cares at this point?
I mean, I saw the trailer a few months ago, and I'm not gonna be buying into it straight away because we all know that I'm just really hoping there's not gonna be EA Play or E3 whatever just come out with a $50 season pass or £50 season pass, whatever how much it is, 6 months before the game gets released. Because this is the biggest issue with games at the moment. It's just they're just throwing in DLC before you even buy the actual game. I mean, we all agree it's a problem.
It's a big problem.
And that leads me on to my next point about Destiny.
Oh!
I mean, we only have to look at Destiny. I mean, like, you buy you look at...
You want to talk about Destiny?
Yeah, well, Destiny 2. I mean, that's a game coming out this year.
Destiny.
Destiny, yeah, by the way, everyone gets, like, proper, like...
I don't like Destiny. And why? Here's why. It sucks. It tried to make it Halo. They couldn't do it. So they were like, oh no, we're just going to shove DLC into this
Well,
thing.
no, it's not really about that. I read an article a few years ago about what actually went wrong with Destiny. And the thing is, it's the fact that they had to, for whatever reason, it wasn't made clear, but for whatever reason, they had to take half the game out on release because apparently Bungie, whatever, was not really too happy with the products or something.
That's ridiculous.
Because obviously they sat down a year before, and obviously they were showing everything that they got with Destiny, but they didn't really approve of it at all. Like, they didn't like the direction where the game development was going, so they pretty much had to scrap a lot of work and then start again.
I don't understand Bungie's thinking with selling off Halo to 343 to go and make Destiny. Honestly, like,
it's just
Destiny, right? It's such a grind. I don't like. Look, if you enjoy Destiny, I don't care. It's the premise of Destiny I have a problem with. It's a first-person shooter where you've got to grind to a certain level to be able to do PvP, and that level is huge.
I mean, I must admit,
it's such a high level.
I mean, I must admit though, if you go and get Destiny now with all the DLC, it's a much better game than when it was at launch, because obviously they took...
Yeah, obviously it's got DLC in it now.
Yeah, but the price you have to pay just to get the full game, which is what it should have been at launch.
Wait, how much is it now with all the DLCs? I haven't checked.
Well, actually, if you buy it with the DLC, you're still spending about, I forgot how much it is, actually. I know it's probably going to be...
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's probably well, with all DLCs and the game, it's probably going to be like £50-60.
Yeah.
Or like $70-80. So it's not going to be cheap, whichever currency you're in. It's going to be like 20 billion yen if you're in Japan. Like, but yeah, it's not the problem. The problem I have with Destiny, it's not that people enjoy Destiny. I understand, like, I understand why people play grindy games, and it's so they have a sense of achievement when they finally hit that level. Like, take World of Warcraft, for example. That's the biggest grind there is. But when you finally get to run those really difficult dungeons and you do it after all of that grinding, it must feel like such an accomplishing feeling. Yeah. Like the feeling I get from where I get stuck on a Bloodborne boss for a couple of hours, and I've been trying to beat it, and I've just been kept going and going and going for like the past 2 hours, and I finally get that final hit on the boss, and I feel really accomplished. I can understand why people want to grind in video games because they feel so accomplished at the end, but I don't get why you want to grind in a first-person shooter in 2017. Like, if this was
it's not really just Destiny if you're talking about, because there's a lot of other games as well where there seems to be a push towards grinding out games just to try and get
I'm not with FPS grinding. I'm not linking in games like Call of Duty multiplayer because that's not a grind. That's a social experience. You don't get the social experience in Destiny properly until you unlock the PvP, and you've got don't quote me on this, but I think you have to grind a lot to get the PvP. Like I have a friend who's super into Destiny, and he's like, the game gets good after a certain period of time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want the game to be good from the start. I don't want to have to shovel my way through crap just to get to the good part of a game. Like I don't get why people want to do that. It really confuses me, honestly. Anyway, let's move on from Destiny.
Okay, right. We have Fallout 4 VR that may get shown as well.
I called it, dude. I called it last week. You can say I called it. You were there when I told you about it.
Yeah, I will confirm that.
I called there was going to be Fallout 4 VR. Is it going to be good? Probably not.
Well, the problem with VR is that it's still not really that mainstream if you think about it.
Well, no, because it's not accessible to everyone.
Yeah, although I did try out VR this week though. The stealth VR. It wasn't really what I was expecting, to be honest. I know I didn't really have. I only had like 5 minutes with it, so I can't really say too well what I think about VR.
The reason that VR's not really getting mainstream yet is because not everyone's got access to beastly PCs.
Yeah, but it's not really just that. I just don't think VR really is the way to go.
It's a very cool gimmick. It's obviously better than Xbox Kinect and PlayStation Move.
Yeah, but I don't. Do I see it like having a big market in the future? It's got a bit of a way to go.
It obviously does have.
But then again, if you said, in the 90s that and told them about VR, they'll just think, no, that's impossible.
Yeah, and then they're playing it now, going, it's not impossible. Oh my god! But the reason that VR is not mainstream, yeah, I think there is a market there. There's definitely a market there. People want it. Once PCs for everyone become more available, or if people start getting their hands on PlayStation 4s more, because PlayStation have got VR now, and I really want to get it.
Yeah.
But for my PlayStation, it just depends if I've got enough room in my little shack that I call a bedroom. But, what I'm worried about with Fallout 4 VR is Fallout 4 VR going to work because it's a Fallout game? Are you going to want to sit there for hours on end grinding levels in a Bethesda game with a headset on that makes you look like a robot? Are you going to want to sit there with your HTC Vive on, because that's what Fallout 4 VR is coming out for, by the way? Oh, at the moment, that's all that's listed. There could be more things like Oculus and PlayStation VR, but it's not been confirmed yet. So it's just HTC Vive. Are you going to want to sit there with your HTC Vive on for a few hours to grind out, say, your lockpicking?
Grind out your lockpicking on VR.
That's not the VR experience people want. The new Star Trek VR game that's come out for HTC Vive, that's what people want, because they get to walk around with Starship Enterprise and do missions and stuff. That game looks bloody amazing. Fallout 4 VR doesn't excite me in the slightest. I just knew it was something Bethesda would do because they've got to catch up on the popular trend. Let's move on, because I'm done with talking about VR.
Well, actually, no. There's actually one more thing I want to say about VR.
There's more.
Well, it's not really related to Fallout 4, but I think a year ago I saw someone was developing a VR mod for GTA 5, which I thought was quite interesting. And about how
I can see that working more.
Yeah, to be honest, it does work more. But what the developer was saying was the fact that because when you kill someone in GTA 5, you don't really feel like that guilt or anything, just whatever, you're just shooting pixels and that. But with VR, he actually does feel like that actually he's holding a gun, you're actually killing one of those civilians. And
that's a whole different ballgame.
I know, and the developer actually had to stop it because he just felt so guilty just killing random civilians in GTA 5, because it just felt like he was doing it himself. Think about it.
Right. Moving on from VR, let's go back to the Nintendo Switch quickly.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting, just again, but yeah.
That's actually pretty interesting, yeah, but he stopped development of a mod because he felt guilty. That's pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But, let's move back to the Nintendo Switch now. And Bethesda. Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch. Thoughts? Go.
I don't really have a lot of thoughts. I mean, you think about the amount of time Skyrim has been released.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I mean,
why are they? I mean, like,
I guess I can sort of see it in a way that if you really like Skyrim, and you want to be able to play it wherever you go, whatever, just so
yeah, that's what they're selling this version of Skyrim on. Not the game itself, but being like, you can play Skyrim on a plane, you can play Skyrim in the park, you can play Skyrim in the car. It'll eat your battery life in 2 hours.
You can play Skyrim while you're drifting.
Like, it's just drifting. Stop. But no, they're not selling Skyrim on the game or the experience anymore, because it's a cracking game, Skyrim.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, it's not the best Elder Scrolls. I personally, my favorite is Oblivion. But
debatable.
They're not selling Skyrim. Stop. They're not selling Skyrim on the game and the experience of it anymore. They're just selling it on the fact that it's portable Skyrim. That's like Dark Souls 3 is coming out for the Switch. That would be like From Software being like, yo, imagine Dark Souls on the shitter. Like, you don't. That's not what you should be marketing your game off of. If you haven't got a good marketing campaign for Skyrim for the Switch, don't release it. Oh, and here's why you don't have a good marketing campaign. The game's like 5 or 6 years old now. It came out in 2011.
I will make this point. I think Skyrim has been released too many times. Re-release. That's just my opinion.
Because, yeah, it's come out on the
PS3.
360.
Like, I actually
PS3,
remember when it came out on PS3. I mean, that's just how.
So do I.
That's how crazy it is. And to think they're releasing it again on the Switch. I mean, I guess if you like Skyrim and you got the Nintendo Switch, then yeah, whatever. But I just don't really see the purpose, in my opinion.
Because they released it for Xbox 360, PS3. Then they re-released it again, and the PC. Sorry. Then they re-released it again as Skyrim Special Edition with like the upscale graphics for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. And now they're re-releasing it again. Like,
yeah.
But it's just, again, it all revolves back to money. It's a never-ending cycle.
They're just trying to saturate as much as possible, really.
Anyway, let's move on from Skyrim. It's 2017. Let's keep with the Switch, though. According to IGN, on the show floor, and maybe at Nintendo's press conference, which I think is on Monday,
yes,
Super Mario Odyssey, the new Mario game, is set to be. They're meant to show more of that, and apparently it's going to be playable on show floor. What do you think about that?
Again, I don't really. I mean, you're more sort of on the ball. I don't really know too much about the game, to be honest with you.
Well, I personally think it looks cool, but is it going to be like Breath of the Wild good? It has potential to, but we're gonna have to see what happens. Like,
I need more information on the E3 or whatever before I make any like comment on it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah,
like, but it's just it has the potential to be as good as Breath of the Wild. It just depends on how much care and love they're going to put into it. Because I think it's coming out this October. In my opinion, it should be delayed until the beginning of next year, like Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
Because that game needs some tender love and care. Because it looks like the most ambitious Mario game they've ever done. Like, this is like if they put Mario Galaxy on speed.
Oh no! Trust me. I want this Mario game to actually be unique and different from the others. I just don't want it to just be, it's just another one of these, Mario games.
Anyway, speaking of Red Dead 2, let's talk about Red Dead 2.
Oh yeah, Red Dead 2, Rockstar, delaying it obviously till 2018. I mean, no real surprise, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't remember any game which they'll come out with a release date and they say, we delayed it by 6 months. I mean, I think if Rockstar does not delay a game, then I'll actually be skeptical.
Yeah, I know. It would just seem like they're not putting any effort into the game.
I'm going to be honest. I don't see the point in game developers coming out with a release date and then just not sticking to it in the first place. Because if you know that there's a potential there's going to be a delay. What is the point releasing a release date if you know there's going to be a potential delay and then you're going to delay anyway? I mean, we've seen it all before.
I know, but again, with a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, this game is going to be huge.
It's got a lot to live up for. I mean, I played a lot of Red Dead Redemption back in the day. I think it came out in like 2010, didn't it? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
And
I would have to check that, but I'm pretty sure that's.
I'm glad that they're bringing out something a bit different, in my opinion, because I think Red Dead is one of those series that didn't really get a lot of what do you call it? I'm trying to figure that word now.
Oh man, I don't know what word you're thinking of. So we're stuck. But bottom line is, Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be a massive game.
But let's talk about what do you expect from like Red Dead Redemption 2? I mean,
I expect it to look gorgeous.
I mean, we've seen the teaser trailer, and it does look pretty amazing. I really hope that actually, when it comes to release, it does look like that, because I know Ubisoft.
No, I think it has the ability to look like that now that we've got things like PlayStation 4 Pro, and also what we're probably going to see more of this week at E3, the Xbox Scorpio.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but
it has the ability to look like that. So also there's no PC release.
Yeah, I know. Like when they released the teaser trailer, there was a huge petition going around for Rockstar to release on PC.
Yeah, it's just the GTA 5 thing all over again.
Yeah, it is.
So
I'm not really too sure. I'm not really too sure why Rockstar, like even to this day, I'm not really too sure like the big reason why they put it on console first and then PC.
I mean, they probably want to make the PC like version look as good as possible because of how like PC gamers are very protective of their hardware. They're like, oh, I've got a gajillion gigabytes of RAM and an i26 billion processor.
I read somewhere that
a
lot of it was to do with pirating or something like that. But you know, with the release of GTA 5, it's getting a lot more harder to pirate games.
Yes, but people are still going to find a way to pirate. You can't. It's
I know,
very
but
difficult
I think
to stop
I
pirating.
did see I can't remember what game it was. It was a racing game, and they got released. And then within 6 months, there was still no like crackable version you could get because it was basically uncrackable.
That's really good actually.
Yeah.
But back on Red Dead.
Yeah, back on Red Dead Redemption.
I just want the game to play like the first one. I just want good combat. I want good horse riding. I want fun.
I'm quite interested in how the online mode is going to work out.
If it's like GTA Online, I'm going to cry because I enjoyed GTA Online when I first got GTA.
Yeah,
5.
but I think GTA Online, I mean, it was good when it came out, but I not really so much now, to be honest.
Like, I enjoyed it, and then I realised how much of a grind it is after getting to level 50.
I really hope, again, I mean, back to that grinding conversation, I mean, I'm hoping they don't go too far that way.
Like, GTA Online is fun to play with friends and just have a laugh, but when you're actually trying to play it seriously and get money to buy expensive things, it's not that fun. Because you've got to get like 24 million.
I definitely think that I think the way it should work, there should be at least like a sandbox mode where you basically, it's just you, it's like with you along with like 29, 30 other people in a lobby, and you can just mess about and do what you want. I mean, I'm really hoping that they do something like that. Because obviously there are going to be times where you just want to, you know, sit back and just chill and play some Red Dead Redemption.
I'm just hoping that the online, like, I'm hoping they have the constant updates for it, like adding new things. I just hope it's not plague-ridden with,
to be honest,
microtransactions.
To be honest, though, I don't really think that it should play out at all like similar to GTA Online. I think they should do something a bit different because that will make it a lot fresher.
Yeah, because obviously it's in completely different settings, so they kind of need to do something different.
Yeah.
So. Bottom line is, Red Dead, make it like the first one, have a good
Hopefully they show some, well, I won't guarantee Rockstar showing a lot of gameplay to be honest, they don't really do that.
Dude, if anything, we'll get new screenshots and just have a crowd in the
There
background.
were a few new screenshots that were released. I don't know if you saw them.
I saw those. We should probably link those in the description because they look really cool.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on from Red Dead.
Let's talk about racing games, actually. Gran Turismo Sport.
Oh, dude, you don't know how excited I am for Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo. I mean, let's not forget.
Too long.
Let's not forget Gran Turismo 3.
Oh, let's not forget
and
Gran
the
Turismo 3.
legendary game that was.
It's the best racing game ever made. Fight me. I will fight about that game.
And that, by the way, that is definitely not
great.
going all towards Forza fans by any means.
Well, dude, Forza can't hold a candle to what Gran Turismo 3 brought to the table. I'm sorry.
Gran Turismo 3 definitely did change the scene. As we know it now.
It changed the game. Dude, they brought in rally racing to normal racing games. That changed the game. Anyway, Gran Turismo Sport. Make it like Gran Turismo 3.
Well, we need to say a bit more than just like make it like Gran Turismo 3. How are they gonna be able to do that? That's the big question. How are they gonna bring something like new and innovative to the table like number 3? Because I've been saying it since number 4 came out.
That's a good point. Look, it's all well and good that they're gonna have the new shiny graphics, right?
Yes.
But they do need to bring in something new.
Something a bit different. I just think that I saw a really good video a month ago actually about why I think racing games have just been going downhill quite a bit.
Excuse me.
Like they've just been on the decline.
It's because they've done everything they can do with racing games now. There's not much more you can really do with the racing game genre because the technology is so advanced now. But yes, the technology is so advanced now, like I said, but they've already added in so many game-changing things. The only racing game that can still be game-changing in this day and age is like the F1 racing games, because F1 is constantly changing every season and they sometimes add in new things every season that then get added to the video game, which helps with the immersion, which is why I personally think the F1 racing games are the most immersive racing games that you can play at the moment. So for something like Gran Turismo, they really need to like learn from who is it? Isn't it Codemasters who make the F1 games? It's Codemasters, right?
No, it's not. It's Polyphony Digital.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's what became of Codemasters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they really need to learn from them and kind of like look at what the F1 games are doing and take some of that technology, put it into Gran Turismo Sport. And we'll have a much more immersive
are you trying to say that
overall.
we need to go a bit more on the realism?
Yes. As good as arcade racing is, a game like Gran Turismo markets itself as the real driving simulator.
Yeah, well, that's what like number 5, number 6 has all been about basically. How far can you like push realism to the table?
Like the only like further place you can push it is just making Euro Truck Simulator 3. So we'll just have to see.
Euro Truck Simulator 3.
Coming from Sony Computer Entertainment. Dun dun. Like no, but I'm gonna stay with that point.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo Sport needs good technology to be added into it. They need to learn from who make the F1 games.
Let's talk about Far Cry 5.
Oh my god, Far Cry 5.
The
dude.
very controversial. Well, it shouldn't really be that controversial. It's just people spitting their gummies out again, or whatever.
Mum, I don't want any more Far Cry. Yes, you do, son.
I actually am really interested in the setting. To be honest,
I'm always optimistic with Far Cry. Then Far Cry Prime.
I mean, you look at Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5, really good game. Far Cry 4, I mean, I played quite a bit of Far Cry 4. I don't think you play a lot of Far Cry 4, or no, you haven't at all.
Well, no, I have played some Far Cry 4. I don't think it's as good as Far Cry 3.
Yeah, Far Cry 4, it did feel a bit more polished and refined, but again, it's not like, it wasn't really anything new. That's the thing. I just felt like it was Far Cry 3, but just a bit more updated.
And I honestly prefer Far Cry 3. I think it's.
I prefer the setting of Far Cry 3.
And I prefer the villain of Far Cry 3. He's very cool. what's his name? Why have I forgotten his name? It's Vaz, isn't it? Vaz.
Yeah.
His name's Vaz.
No, Vaz wasn't the main villain. He was more of like Actually, should I tell you something about the actor? Because the actor, he was actually meant to play the main villain in Far Cry 3, but they didn't give the role to him. But because they liked his voice so much that they gave him like an extra like part in Far Cry 3.
That's really cool.
And then obviously that's what became really cool. Known as Vaz. I really wish Vaz was the main villain. You know, well, nothing you can really do about it. But you know,
dude, it would have made the game different, and the story probably wouldn't have made that too much sense if Vaz was actually the main villain. But anyway, back onto Far Cry 5.
Yeah, the setting, they're really trying to push, well, what some people say, anti-white American.
Yeah.
It's again. I mean, obviously, we both live in the UK, so we're not really understanding too much.
Yeah, but the thing is, Far Cry 5 has got potential to be really good. It's just I don't want.
They need to do is that they need to have the Far Cry 5 setting, but they need to have like the Far Cry 3 sort of mechanics.
I don't want them to do what we did with Far Cry Primal, where they literally copy and pasted the map from Far Cry 4.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not. I don't think this is going to be.
Because I was really excited for Far Cry Primal, then realised they put no effort in.
You could just watch Far Cry Primal, and it just felt like an extension pack to Far Cry 4.
Like, it felt like what Blood Dragon is to Far Cry 3. Blood Dragon's great, by the way. I love that game. But Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, I highly recommend that if you haven't played it. It's brilliant. I think it's relatively cheap on Steam, so you should definitely check that out if you haven't played that game. So that game has got so much potential. It looks like it could have be different from Far Cry 4 and 3, where it's not just like you're on an island somewhere. Your family and your friends has been kidnapped by an evil man. Go save them. It looks different, and I want my Far Cry to be different. Not so much different that it becomes primal. Like, I want it to have the same kind of feel as Far Cry 2, like even like the same feel as Far Cry 2, because like that game's great as well. So basically, with Far Cry 5, I want the game to bring something different to the table, but keep what I know from Far Cry 3 and 4.
Well, on to how controversial this game is. This is actually a statement from Ubisoft I just found. I quote, it takes about 4 years for a video game of this size to be made, which means that it cannot be conceived as a response to Trump's presidency.
If it takes 4 years for a game like that to be made, how did you poo out Primal so quick?
Well, I think that they got separate teams.
Yeah, but there was such a short space in time between Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal. Like, people hadn't even finished 4 by the time...
Well, this is going to be released in 2018. I mean, this is not even going to be 2 years since Primal came out.
I swear that, Far Cry 5 is already available to pre-order, though.
I'm not really too sure. I think so.
I'm sure I saw on Steam the other day that it's available for pre-purchase. Because if I'm remembering that correctly, that's an insane time frame.
Well, like as I said before, I think they're just pushing the microtransactions, the pre-orders and everything like just too far. But there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, Far Cry is not really known for the microtransactions, which is something I'm happy about.
Well, you never know with Far Cry 5.
Well, you never know with Ubisoft in general. Yeah. Like, right, let's roll off from Far Cry 5.
Yeah, I think we're talking about Far Cry 5 a bit much. Gang Beasts.
Gang Beasts.
Yes.
For PlayStation VR. I have so many questions about this.
Go on.
But I'm just going to ask one of them now. How is Gang Beasts going to work in VR? What are they going to do to a game like Gang Beasts, which is a top-down, like, gloop wrestling game type thing? How are they going to turn that into VR? I don't understand. Like, are they going to make it first person? Because if they do,
actually, to be honest with you, if you're looking at Gang Beasts, I think if they did it right, it could be something amazing. Like if you actually put some thinking into it about how it could all work, we could have something on the table here.
It could be decent, yeah. Honestly, Gang Beasts VR has potential. It just baffles me that a game like Gang Beasts is being put into PlayStation VR because it doesn't make any sense. But again, if we keep on talking about VR, we're gonna be here with like a 5-hour podcast for our first episode, and I don't want that.
Okay.
Let's talk about a different game. Let's talk about Need for Speed Payback.
Need for Speed Payback.
What do we make of Need for Speed Payback, Joe? Go.
It's just another Need for Speed game.
Need for Speed is dead, and they're beating the dead horse because they're EA. Hail Satan, and they need to make money.
Well, I mean, they haven't given me one good reason.
Who are going to buy this?
This is coming from a person that used to play a lot of Need for Speed back in like 2011 or whatever.
Dude, Need for Speed Underground 2 was my game back in the day.
You know what? Need for Speed Most Wanted, though. Not the 2012 edition.
Oh, no, the original.
Yeah, the original.
Most
That's
awesome,
my
yes.
favourite.
That's the good one. Oh, excuse me. But, I'm all out of water, so I apologise for coughing.
Out of water. I've still got to finish yet.
Man, you want to share some? Don't.
Yeah, go on then.
So, Need for Speed has not given me a reason to buy their product in years. Because let's take Need for Speed The Run, for example. It's a cool concept, but they sold it just off, please. They didn't spend much time in really polishing that game off, so it came out buggy, because they just marketed the game off. You get to play as the police in Lamborghinis, and you're going to chase people down, and blah, 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 blah. They hyped that game to the moon and back, and it flopped. Because it's EA, hail Satan.
Well, I mean, it goes back to what we said about Gran Turismo Sport, and like the way games are advancing in terms of the technology and everything. I mean, how much further can you push racing games?
That's again another really good point. Need for Speed need to look at again. I'm gonna go back to F1 racing games. They need to look at what they're doing. But this Need for Speed Payback game looks like they're going back to what Need for Speed The Run was. It looks like they're bringing back the police chase and stuff. It looks like to be a weird mix of The Run and the most recent Most Wanted, which could be interesting. I'm quietly hoping that Need for Speed Payback does well, but I'm very skeptical on whether I'm going to pick this one up when it actually hits stores.
Let's talk about Assassin's Creed.
Let's talk about Assassin's Creed. It's going to come out broken.
Unity was a bit of a shambles. Had a bad launch, broken.
The thing is, Unity wasn't a bad game. It's because Ubisoft didn't put much time into making it.
Yeah, but again, that's just another point. That's everything wrong with the gaming industry at the moment.
The games don't suck. The developers suck.
I mean,
because they're too reliant on patches.
I mean, they did stop when the Syndicate came out, because it didn't do that well. They did stop they're going to say we're going to stop making for a while. And thought that's a good thing, because I just feel that there needs to be a break, and they need to really if they're going to release another one, they really need to take their time on this one. But
Assassin's Creed needs to just take the Assassin's Creed team, should I say? They need to just take a couple years off. They need to reevaluate what Assassin's Creed is. They need to ask themselves, what is Assassin's Creed to me? You know, like they really need to stop and think, like, what is Assassin's Creed? Because they're just like pooing out games every year for Assassin's Creed. Black Flag sucked. It was broken. Half of the stuff didn't work properly. Cool concept, but didn't work properly. Same with Unity. I loved Unity. I played that game to completion. It's a really good Assassin's Creed game. But that and Assassin's Creed 2 are the only ones I've played to completion. If they could stop and like making them every year, and they go back to making the style of Assassin's Creed that made Assassin's Creed 2 so successful, Assassin's Creed wouldn't have such a bad reputation in most people's eyes, because it is a beloved franchise by a lot of people, but because they're beating the dead horse of Assassin's Creed every year because it makes them money, they're starting to turn die-hard Assassin's Creed fans away, and that's something that's really dangerous for Ubisoft.
Personally, I think it's too soon, even now, to release another one. I think they should. They should wait at least another year or two.
Definitely, it's way too soon for another Assassin's Creed. But if this Assassin's Creed gets at Ubisoft's press conference, if that gets announced for this year, Ubisoft, like Assassin's Creed, I'm not going to say they're going to be done, because they won't be done, but they're going to be in big trouble. They're not going to make much money. I don't think they'll make a profit and that'll be the beginning of the slippery
I
slope.
don't know. It may turn out to be another Medal of Honor.
Excuse me. Oh, dude, Medal of
Yeah.
Honor died at death, didn't it?
I actually got the last one. I think it was Medal of Honor Warfighter.
The thing is, it was good, but no one buys Medal of Honor anymore. That's the
No,
problem.
it's not really that. It's just when they was releasing it. That was the issue. Because I played Warfighter. Warfighter actually was not that bad, to be honest. I got some enjoyment out of that. But again, I mean, because obviously it wasn't making the sales, they just cut it completely all together. If Assassin's Creed, this next one flops, I feel it'll go down the same path. When you think so?
Yeah, definitely. Right, Let's move away from Assassin's Creed now.
Yes.
We've been going for about 50 minutes, so we'll talk about. Should we talk about 3 more games?
Yeah, if you want.
So let's roll on with this E3 hype train of awesomeness, and let's talk about the something that actually is dying a death. Let's talk about Call of Duty.
Oh yes, Call of Duty.
Something that actually is dying a death. Call of Duty World War II. Is it too late to save the franchise?
A lot of people are hyped for it. I've been wanting a World War II Call of Duty since, well, about 6 years.
since
I mean,
MW2
you think about it,
came
right?
out.
The last World War II game was Call of Duty World at War. That came out in 2008.
Great game.
Yeah, great game.
Great game.
Loved it.
I've got that game on my Steam library. I still play it occasionally.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
And
I'm max
although-
prestige because I got into a lobby with hackers.
yeah, it's for the hackers. That is the problem.
That's the problem with it. I'll still go a few solo zombies rounds by myself because that game is great.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So last World War II game, Call of Duty World at War, came out in 2008. I actually remember when it came out. It wasn't as big as because the year before COD 4 came out, and obviously that was a massive game when that came out. So World at War did not really live up to that standard, but looking back on it now, it was a pretty good game. You see, it's gonna be. I feel it's just gonna be another death trap, because you got a lot of people say, "Oh yes, World War II game. We've been wanting this for ages," and then what's gonna happen? People are gonna go out and buy the game. There's gonna be loads of microtransactions, supply drops.
Yeah, that's that because Treyarch and Activision have fallen into that slippery slope now.
Well,
wait, it is Treyarch making this one, isn't it?
no, it's Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer.
This is like their
no, there's gonna
second
be-
full Call of Duty game.
Wait, didn't Sledgehammer do Advanced
Yeah.
Warfare? Oh, it's over.
Well,
It's over.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they've been wanting to do a World War II game for what I've heard for a very long time. So, I mean, should we give them another chance? I mean, this is Call of Duty.
I'm not buying Call of Duty anymore. I'm done with Call of Duty. They've lost my trust as a consumer because they've just been.
And
pushing
not
out
really
crap
just
games
that. I
ever
mean,
since
I need
Ghosts
to make a
came out.
comment about the campaign, because with the campaign, it's very just US orientated. It doesn't really show the things. What was good about Battlefield 1 was the fact that yes, I know I'm comparing it to Battlefield 1, but hear me out. They actually
campaign Battlefield.
They
1.
actually showed pretty much the fast scale of World War 1. With Call of Duty, I don't think they're going to do that, and that's a bit of an issue for me.
No, they're not. They're going to do what they always
They're
do.
just
They're
going to
gonna
do
focus it on
D-Day
few
again,
characters.
although I would like to see D-Day on PS4,
It would probably look.
I mean,
very cool.
Sledgehammer, one thing I can say is that the graphics in the games do look the best out of the others, but I personally, for me,
Well, it's because Sledgehammer are using the best engine. That's why.
well, not really.
using
They've
the
been
best
using the same engine since Quake 3.
Well, no, they're making. Sorry, let me rephrase that. They're making the best out of the engine. They've probably got the best combat, but they're not using it effectively. Maybe they'll have a good combat system because they don't have to make it all futuristic this time because they're back in 1942. But the thing is, they've lost so much consumer trust because they've been just releasing crap games plagued with
Yeah, but it's just
microtransactions.
gonna keep It's just gonna keep going. That's the problem.
Yeah. I don't think Call of Duty can be saved personally.
In my
The
opinion,
thing is, there are those die-hard Call of Duty fans that are still going to buy the game, and that's what's going to keep that franchise afloat.
in my opinion,
Until they release something awful, like a stain on the name of Call of Duty. They have already done that. It's called Call of Duty Ghosts.
no, not Ghost, mate. I was thinking of the most recent one.
Oh, what? Wait.
Infinite Warfare.
Wait, what is Infinite Warfare? Right. Well, was that Infinite?
Yeah, that's Infinity War. I can tell you don't really, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god! I thought Infinity Ward made the good ones.
But no, they did, and then
no.
then they didn't. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm actually really. Oh god, I've lost hope with that franchise now completely.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think
Infinity
if anyone's
Ward,
going to make a World War II car, I think Treyarch should do it. I don't know Sledgehammer. I mean, it is their second one, but yeah, I'm not really going to say anything.
Well, because it's Sledgehammer, we're probably not going to get.
Although a bit of a funny joke, you know when the Infinite Warfare trailer was shown for the first time, people were making like comments about how so Star Wars Battlefront does not have space battles, but Call of Duty does.
It's a good point.
That is a good point.
It's a good point.
I thought I'd throw that in there. Never forget that.
Right. So, bottom line of this discussion is Call of Duty is going to die.
No, I've been saying that for years. It probably won't.
It's going to die.
Won't. But unfortunately, it won't.
It's imminent death. Let's move on. Second to last game we're going to talk about. Let's talk about. I don't know what to talk about. I'm scrolling through my list of confirmed games, and I'm trying to see an interesting.
I think we talked about the main ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, talking about FPS, Battle for One expansion in the name of the Tsar.
Oh, in the name of the Tsar. Right. What is this expansion? I hadn't heard of this until I read it just now.
Yeah. It's a. I think it's the second DLC. That's coming out. Because I know there was the French DLC that came out, and it was actually pretty good.
Oh, right. Wow, that was an awkward pause. I thought you were going to keep going. So wait. So this is an expansion. It's not. Does this add anything more to the campaign, or is it
the
just
second
multiplayer
expansion pack, and it focuses a lot on the Russian army.
That's cool. Ooh, I like that.
So you've got four new maps. There are new weapons, gadgets, new vehicles, new dog tags.
Yeah, but are there new campaign missions?
Well, no, there isn't.
Fuck's sake! Yeah.
But I mean, we're going to see a lot of maps, snow maps coming out. Because if you have a look at the concept, it looks pretty good. I'm really hoping actually that the Behemoth, we're going to get a new Behemoth. Because the Behemoth in the French DLC was actually probably the most useful one out of the other three that came with the base game. And in case you don't know, that's the battle ship, the airship.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Because
I played this game, played it on PC. It's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, so looking forward to that. Hopefully, we'll see some gameplay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be available to play on the floor at E3, so if you're there, go play it if you're into Battlefield.
Yeah.
One more game. We got to talk.
Well, that wasn't really a game, but yeah, we'll count it as that.
Let's talk about one more thing. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, PS4 exclusive.
Oh yes.
Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. You've played a lot of Uncharted, Joe. What do you think of that?
Again, it's just one of those games. Uncharted 4. Great game. I mean, in my opinion, it's probably one of the best PS4 exclusive games to come out. Because up until that point, PS4 didn't really have a lot of good exclusives. I mean, a Thief's End, which came out, I think it was in 2016. Again, good storyline, good character. I'm really hoping again it just lives up to that standard of Uncharted 4. I mean, I'm not really too skeptical about this. What do you think?
Oh man. You're talking to someone who didn't have a PS3, so I've honestly never played Uncharted. I brought it up because I thought you would talk more about it.
No, it's been a while since I played Uncharted.
From what I've seen from Uncharted is they love to take the control away from the player. If they tone that down in Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, this game could be great.
Yeah, actually, I've got some information right here. So it's going to be released in August, the 23rd in the UK or the 22nd in the US.
Wait, this is coming out this year?
Yeah, it's coming out this year. That's why it's also been shown at E3.
Oh, Jesus. And it's available to play on
the and it takes place after...
You lucky people!
It takes place after the events of Uncharted 4, Thief's End. So it's a continuation, you know. But one of the interesting things it actually says is the fact that players won't take control of the main protagonist, Nathan Drake, Instead, you're going to follow the story of Chloe Fraser, which debunked in Uncharted 2. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a callback and a half for Uncharted fans. Jesus.
Bit of a flashback, you know.
That's something to get excited for fans of the Uncharted
Yeah, that's
series.
definitely one of the things that's quite interesting. So again, I mean, hopefully, with depending on how E3 goes, I mean, lots to look forward to.
There is a lot to look forward to.
Anyway,
this could be a really exciting year.
Anyway, we've hit the hour mark now.
Really exciting.
Now that's gone quick.
That's been a really quick hour. This has been fun.
Anyway, so any last things you want to say before we go?
Well, I'm going to finish with the times of I've got the times here for each E3 press conference that's going to be taking place. So the EA one is going to be on. The EA one is Saturday. So today, when this goes up, Saturday, at 12 p.m. PT Pacific time. The Microsoft one is Sunday, June 11th at 2 p.m. Pacific time. The Bethesda one is going to be taking place on the same day at 9 p.m. Pacific time. Devolver Digital having one on the same day as Bethesda and Microsoft at 10 p.m. Pacific time. Ubisoft's takes place Monday, June 12th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Sony press conference takes place on Monday, June 12th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and Nintendo's takes place on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Look up those times in your time zone, because I can't be asked.
Yeah, we'll be here for another hour if that was the case.
Yeah, we'll probably be here for another hour. So, this has been the pilot episode of the Flashbang Gaming Podcast. If you did enjoy this, please subscribe and drop us a like if you think we deserved it. If not, just carry on with your day. I have been your host, Edwin McDougall, joined by my friend Joe.
And we'll see you next week. Next week we're going to be talking about, obviously, after E3, what we think of it.
E3 Fallout.
We'll come back on the games that we've been talking about today, such as Gran Turismo, Uncharted, etc. And give us our opinions.
We'll probably have some thoughts on what we thought of each press conference and any big talking points coming out of press conferences, like surprise releases that haven't been confirmed by any news sources or anything. We'll make sure to talk about those next week.
We will.
So this is a goodbye from Edward.
And my name is Joe.
And we will see you guys next week.